Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone. Welcome back to another episode. Today's lineup is a highlight reel of what happens when activists demand unconditional obedience, and the world dares to say no. So grab your popcorn and buckle up. First up, a trans activist tries to physically assault a conservative guy and then see what happens.
Get the f*** out of my face now!
Ooh, that was very rude of you.
Get the f*** out of my face!
Do you want to go to jail? Sir, ma'am, I don't really know what to call you.
You're done, man.
I'm done.
The police, you just insulted me.
Well, listen here, pal. I mean, you are gonna go to jail.
I could tell the police to get you.
I'm vegan, so don't say that. Listen.
Told me, man, you really get the f*** out of my way right now.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
You do not have a release. I will sue you.
You're gonna sue him? Don't sue him, man, because we're trying to just...
I don't have a... You do not have a release. If you post this, I will destroy you. I will destroy you.
Just keep going on. We love it. Content, we need it.
Who he smacked, yo?
He said he was gonna smack me, but I'm just trying to get here and get content, you know what I'm saying, guys?
Yo, if I had to put them hands on you.
Yeah, you better chill, right? I know.
Shit, them young
Play
play.
with me now. I got my crew, yeah.
Oh, them young niggas.
Yeah.
Oh, the young niggas. Oh,
that's what we do in Philly. We make it ours. We make it ours. Yeah, we make it ours.
This is the problem with modern activism. It's built on theatrics, not ideas. They scream, curse, and perform violence because they can't win with logic. The moment real people disagree with them, they shrink. Rage is their only argument until someone stronger calls their bluff. Here's a dad who's had enough of woke fantasies turning girls' sports into biology denial tournament.
The parents are taking the wheel. I have an 8-year-old daughter who is absolutely dynamic, who can do anything. Athletically, intellectually, spiritually, and emotionally, she is a dynamo. And I don't want a man swimming against her in the pool. The fact is, I don't want her playing against boys in soccer. I don't even let my sons rough her up. Do you think I'm gonna let your son rough her up? This is what we're talking about. Policy going back to the parents. Because if you think people who love America are willing to fight for it, you haven't met parents yet.
He's shouting common sense, which these days offends the same crowd that thinks gender changes with feelings. Imagine that protecting your daughter is now controversial. Woke activists call it transphobia, but real parents just call it parenting. Here's a good one. A woke influencer proudly teaching people to replace mom and dad with names that sound like cartoon characters.
Instead of using the typical mom and dad parent titles, there's actually gender-neutral and non-binary parent titles that exist. Here are some examples. Pom-pom, Zaza.
Yeah, I don't think me or anyone from my generation could have done that with our parents.
She's out here calling pom-pom and Zaza like it's a new gender identity and not a toddler's nickname. Then a dad reacts the only way a sane parent would. The woke crowd keeps inventing labels, but reality still calls them ridiculous. Now check this out, a dad sitting on Dr. Phil trying to process what woke culture calls living your truth.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Tell me what you're thinking and feeling right now, Gary.
I'm hurt bad. Really bad.
What do you have to say?
Why?
I just want you to know that you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong.
You can see the pain on his face while the audience nods. The man is not angry at his kid. He's heartbroken at the system that told his family this was empowerment. Woke ideology breaks homes, then applauds the wreckage. Up next is a father who finally had enough of the woke classroom circus.
It was just a matter of being somebody. There were all these groups of parents who were dissatisfied, even more than me, as to what happened last year to this school. And the consensus was somebody has to do something. Somebody has to hold them accountable. Somebody has to stand up. And I guess that just ended up being me this time.
Jerome Eisenberg didn't pay elite tuition for his daughter to be lectured on oppression charts and privilege points. He called out the school for turning education into activism, and the woke crowd lost it. When one parent stands up, the whole system starts sweating, because truth doesn't need a diversity committee. Up next is a father who's had it with the Rainbow Book Club pretending to be an education system.
Hello, Navarro, any good lately. What's wrong, Navarro? I think you like a big in your mouth. Ha ha ha. Page 23. The other boy, page 23. Here it is. What's the educational benefit of talking about the What's the educational benefit of talking about that? Is that going to help someone on the SAT score? Hear me kind. Get a shot at that. She can care less. That's a sign. She needs to put down her sign. For a second. Oh, you're putting me out. For what? For asking you to abide by the rules. A board member held up a sign, but the audience couldn't hold up signs. This is tyranny, and we're dealing with a corrupt government system.
He came to expose the filth hiding behind inclusive education. The woke board sat there clutching their pearls at the same words they approved for kids. Nothing scares activists faster than hearing their own nonsense read out loud. Then the mayor of San Francisco visits a trans event and learns he's literally not woke enough for the people he funds.
I just want to point out that it's Trans March, and the mayor's talking with the cis dude. You're not wanted here.
You're not wanted here. Here! How dare you come here?
How dare you come here? How dare you come here? How dare you come here? How dare you come here?
You suck! Larry sucks!
Hey, you're going the wrong way. Gary Tan's house is that way. Gary Tan lives that way. You're going the wrong way. He's your ally. That's your people. These are not your people. Do something. Do something for trans people. Hang the trans flag at City Hall. Do not come here and pretend to be an ally when you are not. You are harming queer people.
Well, we know that.
Boo! There we go. You are harming queer people.
You will never be welcome here.
You are not welcome.
San Francisco literally gives them unlimited money, policy changes, legal protection, and police tolerance, and they still scream that the mayor isn't doing enough. Activism stopped being about change a long time ago. Now it's about raising the standards of obedience forever, so nobody is ever pure enough. Next up, the school board meeting that proves woke professionalism is just arrogance in a suit.
You're done each other off with a bunch of trophies and participation certificates. Here's the truth. You guys don't care about the disabled kids because my disabled son was deaf. You put him in with a bunch of disruptive kids. There was no sign language interpreter, no instruction for sign language. He came home crying from Bester Elementary School every single day he went there because he got into fights with kids who didn't understand him because he was deaf. He couldn't talk. He couldn't sign. You guys left him there. No child left behind. You didn't want to give up the funding you get from state, federal, and local. So you didn't allow him to get transferred until I came in and went psychotic.
Mr. Porter, would you please refrain from using profanity?
You worthless
Okay.
You tortured my disabled son, and you will answer for it in a court of law. People like you hamstring their abilities to teach children like mine. You're a disgrace.
They preach tolerance until someone challenges their agenda, then suddenly words hurt more than actions. These are the same people who will write essays on empathy, but can't handle a father's anger. When real accountability walks in, their moral superiority packs up and hides behind policy. This time, the kind of logic that makes the woke side sweat.
We don't let children drink. We don't let them drive an automobile because they have bad judgment. They are flooded with hormones. Their brains are still in formation. Their sexuality is still in formation. Allow them to make judgments about that are going to have life-changing forever the implications for the rest of their life at that age is unconscionable, particularly in light of the Cass report.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Let me ask you a question about NIH research, if I may. I know this is something that you care a lot about. Under the first Trump presidency...
I do want to add that people who have gender differences should be respected. They should be loved. But loving them does not sometimes love means saying no to people.
They call it gender affirmation, but it's really adult confusion repackaged for kids. Mr. Kennedy reminds them that childhood isn't a science experiment, but the activists can't tell the difference between guidance and oppression. And here's another scene straight out of the Tolerance for Me, Not for Thee playbook.
Thank you to the 6 members that voted to go back to the 2020 interpretation of Title IX. And shame on the 1 board member that voted no.
I'm sorry, but negative comments will not be allowed.
Most of you have heard by now that I have started a petition that Augusta concerned parents, both Republican and Democrat, are signing. This petition is asking if you, the school board members, will put up a vote to have Miss Kim.
I'm sorry, that's not going to be tolerated.
She's also a public...
No, I'm sorry, it will not be tolerated. Once more, and you're off the podium.
So, as most of you know, someone is the president of the Maine Principal Association.
Nope, close enough. I'm sorry. You're done, Mr. Blanchard. You're done, Mr. Blanchard.
What? How is...
Done, Mr. Blanchard.
Wow. Communist China right here.
A dad calmly questions the local gender policy, and suddenly the free speech champions start hitting mute like it's a game show buzzer. Nothing exposes progressive values faster than an opinion they can't control. The board wanted respect, but what they got was a reality check wrapped in a MAGA hat. Alex Stein confronts a mom who transitioned her kid and tells her straight up, you didn't raise a son, you raised a medical experiment.
You like trans kids?
I raised one.
You raised a trans kid?
I raised a child who decided to follow their true heart and be who they are.
Their true heart? What about their other organs, like their genitals? They don't want to go by their true genitals?
This is my son.
That's your son? So what time, when did you start your transition?
I want to say when I was really little, because I knew very young I was a boy.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, you'll never be a boy. You can, I mean, that's just...
Look, you'll never be a man.
I am a man. I am a man. No, I'll have a
people who are
conversation.
trans, but also people who are autistic.
Yeah, and we shouldn't let autistic people transition their sex because they're autistic. They're retarded. And a retarded person cannot pick their gender.
2025, and this man uses the R word?
Yeah. Think about it. You had a beautiful daughter, and you ruined your beautiful daughter.
What?
She could have been in a marriage, could have had kids, could have made you a beautiful grandmother, and none of that's going to happen. And instead, you laugh about cutting off your child's breast.
This is the dark side of this movement nobody wants to talk about. Adults using their own children as social experiments. A kid doesn't even know algebra yet, and we're letting them permanently alter their bodies. That's not progress. That's guided self-harm endorsed by parents. An old man tells a conservative, shame on you, but then rambles like a malfunctioning radio because he can't answer a single basic question.
Shame on me.
Shame on you. I'd love to take the microphone. I'd love to have a chat to you. So tell me about your stance while you're wearing a billboard.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Children cannot consent to puberty blockers.
And how about the damage caused by children's identity, caused by delaying these life-saving medicines?
Life-saving?
Life-saving medicines. Identity.
Interesting.
You're obviously comfortable as a cis white male? You're obviously comfortable in your own skin?
No, I'm just a man.
Also, you're not recognising accepted gender and identity terms?
I'm not part of the culture of gender, no.
You're being pedantic about recognised terms that people use to define themselves?
Only the people who are in the cult recognize these terms.
You also need a breath mint. You're going to be speaking to people on the street, you need a breath mint.
Oh, okay.
That's halitosis is a term, so is cis white male, also a term.
Good stuff. So tell me, why do you want to sterilize kids?
I didn't say that, and you're never going to be able to put words in my mouth.
Oh, but you support this.
Camera's right here.
But you support this.
Camera's right here.
You support giving kids puberty blockers.
They're not the same thing. It's a false equivalency. It's a false equivalency, you know that. So what attention are you getting today? What attention are you getting?
Well, quite a bit from these guys, unfortunately.
Who's these guys?
The police, the council.
Well, it's in there. It's in their interest to make sure isn't damaging to society.
Oh, okay.
Because when you don't represent Australian values...
So again, tell me, why do you think it's okay we sterilize kids?
Once again, you can try and put words in my mouth.
Well, that's what's happening. That's what these do.
You try and put words in my mouth.
Tell me, what age do they start giving kids puberty blockers? What's the technical term for it?
See, once again, You're not going to trick me because you're not. You're not a narrator.
Do you know?
You're not a very logical man.
Do you know?
You're a man with a tirade.
What's Tanner stage 2?
See, I've had a vasectomy done.
Oh, that's great.
And I chose, made an informed choice about that.
I'm really glad you did that.
So I've sterilised myself.
That's good for society.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
And
in your case.
And a lot of cases of sort of, I don't know, false minorities. People who think they're a minority where they've had the fat of the land for generations.
Oh.
That having this regressive sort of desire to have large families to try and sort of increase the white heteronormative sort of section of society, try to outpopulate.
Did you study gender studies in university?
No, it wasn't an option for me.
Interesting.
Anywho, this is going nowhere, but...
So tell me...
I'll leave to time. Make it good.
You talked about regressive things there for a second. I would say it's pretty regressive that we're telling children who don't conform to stereotypes that they might have been born in the wrong body.
No, we're not telling them anything, I don't believe. And they may... No, stereotypes aren't there. It's not about stereotypes. It takes a very, very fragile, sanctimonious, over-controlling subset of society to try and deny people urgent medical care.
So what is it that makes a girl a boy?
I don't think that's a valid question.
Well, if girls are coming to believe that they're really boys, what is it that makes them a boy?
Well, there's biological indicators, but it's not foolproof.
Oh, there's a biological indicator to transgenderism?
But then again...
What's the biological indicator to transgenderism?
But then again, in the West, we've always recognised traditionally two genders. But that's, as we all know.
Yeah, I recognize two sexes and zero genders.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. I like that little laneway.
Yeah.
But that's not true for other societies.
Oh, okay.
Other societies have a richer, deeper culture where there's less gender dysmorphia.
So what is a transgender child?
Because people are recognised.
What is a transgender child?
I'll leave it to your soapbox. But thank you, it's been a pleasure.
So you can't answer any of these questions?
No, because you've been asking to...
Kids are being turned into lifelong pharmaceutical patients, being sterilized, and they're getting their breasts cut off.
No, they're not.
And you can't tell me one thing about any of this.
You're trying to actually lure me into a laneway, in a little sort of ideological laneway. That's a safe place for you to speak.
So if a girl thinks she's a boy, what is it that makes her a boy?
You're trying to lure me into a little laneway. That's a safe space for you to sort of repeat your narrative and to try and hijack the conversation.
I don't need safe spaces. That's for the left.
Well, no, it is. It is because you're weak. I mean, you're ideologically weak. I mean,
you're the one that can't tell me a single thing about your ideology.
I won't.
I'm asking you to define for me what a transgender child is. Define for me what gender identity is.
I'm not going to dance and clap to your prompts because I've thrown you direct things.
This is your opportunity to educate 1 million people right now about transgenderism. So you go ahead and tell them what it is that makes a girl a boy.
I can't even educate you about halitosis, about the fact you need a breast mint.
Okay.
I've answered your questions. I've deliberately walked up to you because you're being very provocative. So I've had conversations with you.
Provocative. Children cannot consent to puberty blockers. Bye-bye.
Some people don't have opinions, they have pre-programmed slogans. He wasn't debating, he was reciting. He didn't come to defend children, he came to defend an ideology he doesn't even understand. That's the tragedy. Entire movements run on people who can't explain what they believe. Here comes another dad who decided to expose the woke double standard in full view.
I don't understand how it's appropriate for kids and it's not appropriate for the school board. I didn't even say a bad word. It feels a lot like you don't want parents to be seeing what's given to the kids. You're happy to give these books to kids. It seems like you're terrified to give them to parents.
He calls out the genius logic of school boards that think adult ears can't handle what they hand to kids. The woke people call it progressive literature, but it sounds a lot more like grooming wrapped in rainbow stickers. Now we have a father who decided to record the most tolerant people on earth, only to find out that transparency is their worst nightmare.
I don't give you permission to videotape it.
I have my picture taken.
I don't
consent to being
recorded.
Hey,
Nancy, how you doing?
We do not consent to being recorded.
Oh, I'm sorry. Trans rights are human rights. Kids, parents, and doctors, not legislators. The problem is they blackmail parents. They tell them their kids are going to commit suicide if they don't do this.
Hey, listen, we're standing here and we're not giving you a hard time. So don't give us a hard time.
Thanks for inspiring me.
We're not giving you permission.
I'll keep that in mind.
We're not giving you a hard time. Just go stand in the because we're not giving you a hard time.
I can stand
so
anywhere.
Just go stand over there and be quiet. And
Good morning, Tim. How are you?
Good
to see you.
Thanks for.
I think you should call security.
You're right over there.
The man calmly points out how they blackmail parents with guilt trips. And suddenly the woke brigade turns into hall monitors shouting, "You can't film us!" Amazing how the people demanding visibility panic the second someone hits record. And this is what happens when common sense meets a generation raised on feelings over facts.
I'm a conservative dad. Of course I'm raising lions, not sheep. I'm a conservative dad. Of course I teach my kids how to think, not what to think. I'm a conservative dad. Of course I teach my kids to respect their elders, women, and especially their mother. I'm a conservative dad. Of course I teach my kids how to have thick skin, defend themselves, and take pride in their work, no matter how small the task. I'm a conservative dad. Of course I teach my kids to lead by example, especially when it's unpopular. I'm a conservative dad. Of course I teach my kids that results come with consistency over time. I'm a conservative dad. Of course I talk to my boys like men, not children. Oh yeah, and we don't allow doom scrolling at dinner. And maybe most important of all, truth is compassion.
The dad says he's raising lions, not sheep, and somewhere a gender studies major just filed a complaint. While the woke world is out here teaching kids their truth changes hourly, this guy's out teaching them to think, work, and respect. Imagine that parenting without hashtags or victim points. Now we have a father who proved that progress apparently means the government gets to parent your kids.
Well aware of the BC father whose daughter, when she was in grade 7, was shown a video by her teachers featuring a transgender character, and she started thinking, I also want to cut my hair short. I also want to identify as a boy, just like the character in that video. The teachers entertained this. They allowed her to change her name. They allowed her to change her pronouns. They suggested she go get some counseling, and the counselor suggested she go talk to a doctor. The doctor suggested she starts transitioning. All of this happened unbeknownst to this father. So obviously he's royally upset. The courts ended up saying he's not allowed to misgender his daughter. He's not allowed to use the incorrect pronouns. He can't use her so-called dead name. And he's not allowed to talk to the press about any of this. A so-called gag order was placed on this. Now, obviously, with this being insanely tyrannical, he didn't do any of these things, ended up spending 69 days in jail for that. And he was also facing a fine of upwards of $30,000. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, the judge just decided that he has won his case. He won his appeal.
His crime, calling out the gender zealots who think biology can be legislated away with hashtags and therapy forms. While activists celebrated compassion, they locked up a dad for refusing to pretend.
All right, guys, we're here with the man who's not supposed to be named after a huge victory. All right, this has been almost 5 years in the making, all culminating into this final day, this final decision. Tell us, what did the judge determine today? Because this sounds like some huge breaking good news.
You know, after a whole lot of spectacular disaster losses over the last 5 years, we got a huge win. We ended on a huge win. You know, everything I could have, hoped for today, we got from the BC Court of Appeal here. And, time served. So the 6-month sentence, what's left of it, I'm exonerated from at this point. The $30,000 fine removed. I'm walking out of here with a to end, what I would call this long saga with a huge win. And I hope parents and, this is important for everybody here because, I think the tide is changing. I've said it. I didn't know how it was going to reflect in what was going to happen today. And I can't say with certainty that was what it was. But, I hope this gives everybody some courage and some hope, right? And definitely encouragement because this is, this is huge. I mean, compared to where things were, who would have guessed the political climate?
But the best part, after years of state-sponsored moral grandstanding, the truth finally cracks through their script.
Breaking gag orders and publication bans and getting the word out because I think most people didn't even believe that things were this crazy. It was honestly people, they needed to know the truth and I was sitting on it and I was told I couldn't tell anybody and to me that was unacceptable at the time and I paid a price. I did. As I said, 69 days in jail and I guess if he's had today, I guess you can say 70.
What was that like in the battle? Because you just won in such a huge victory when they had their side stacked.
Yeah, there were times, where I was up against, before this became a criminal case, which literally pitted me up directly against the Attorney General and the government. There was 50 lawyers involved on the other side at times. It was insane. I took on everybody that literally had a hand in what happened to my child. Literally everybody that played a role. And that brought 50, and these aren't just your regular lawyers. I mean, a lot of them are specific trans activist lawyers. I mean, the whole mob. I took on the whole mob with, just a couple guys.
Turns out you can jail a man, but you can't jail reality, and watching woke logic collapse under the weight of common sense never gets old. This time, here's a father who decided he had had enough of the Glendale School Board's woke circus.
Can I continue?
Try to keep it professional.
I've already told you what I'm doing, and I'm making that very clear, and I'm not going to change.
Keep it professional.
I have not. I have only kept this professional. You are debating me, and you are violating your own rules. I'm here to talk as a parent. I've got 2 young boys. We live in Glendale, and when they come of age, I am deeply concerned about their educational prospects in this city. I'm also a taxpayer. I pay a lot of taxes in this city, many of which go to this district. And I'm deeply concerned about how that money is being spent, particularly, and I'm going to single out a person at the in the school district named Dr. Kelly King, who's sitting right here to my left. Dr. Kelly King makes over $250,000 a year. Every 4 years, we give her $1 million. We will be paying for her pension for the duration of her life after she retires, and she's doing things that I completely disagree with, and I think many members of the community would also disagree with. Previous speakers have mentioned the number of Armenians who live in Glendale. How many Armenians would support what she does? Let me discuss what she's doing.
He makes it clear he's here to speak facts, not feelings, and the board's first instinct is to interrupt. When he calls out the overpaid bureaucrat whose ideas seem to trump common sense, the room freezes.
In a recent video in 2017, she reflected Glendale Unified Policy when she stated, and I'm going to quote, "We have a lot of resistance from male coaches who are horrified at the thought of having a biological girl changing clothes in front of them." Which biological girls are changing clothes in front of coaches in Glendale Unified? That's a question I'm genuinely asking. She continued, "It's not a girl. It's not a girl. It's not a girl. You only have boys in the boys' locker room." She just said it was a biological girl.
May I just stop
I'm
for a
speaking
moment?
now. You're not. No, I'm speaking now.
I
This is
will-
interrupting my time.
Well, we
Can I
can
pause
pause
this,
the
please?
time. Can you pause the time for a minute? I only want to say that to refrain from personal attacks. So
She
please.
is a government official. She's a government employee. This is not a personal attack. I pay her salary with my tax dollars.
Again, please talk towards the policies that you
I'm
are
talking about-
against
and
and
if-
refrain from personal attacks, and your time will continue. Please go ahead.
In what way have I personally attacked Dr. King? She is acting within her official role as assistant superintendent at Glendale Unified. How is that a personal attack? I'm talking about tax dollars being used in a way that I disagree with. I'm going to continue.
Continue talking about the policy that you disagree with.
Dr. King quoted to say that biological girls were changing in front of male coaches, and then so she knows it's a biological girl, and then proceeded to say it's not a girl 3 times. You know it's a girl. You know it's a girl. Or
Okay,
you know
so
it's a
she's
boy.
an
You know
employee
it's a
of
boy.
ours, and if you wouldn't mind telling us what policy you dislike.
There is why am I being interrupted for speaking about an official member, a superintendent at Glendale Unified, speaking in an official manner? You cannot interrupt me for that. You have no ability to do that. And furthermore, the rules stated you won't debate. You're debating me right now.
He touches on hidden policies and gender support plans. Suddenly, inclusivity means excluding the people footing the bill.
Correct? I'm going to continue. In discussing permanent records, she states that she keeps permanent records for a handful of trans students literally next to her in her room. She does not indicate that person's gender identity for fear that the parent might find out. Why is she concealing this from parents? She says, we kind of go out on a limb, and we know that's controversial to some people. Which people? Which parents? Armenian parents? Christian parents? Are those the ones who are being excluded from knowledge on their own children and their own identity in Glendale's Unified School District? And you preach inclusive policies. We can talk about that policy. Yet she's excluding parents.
So
She's
again,
excluding parents. I'm going to continue.
And I might just ask for a pause and ask for information. Maybe I'm mistaken. Can you pause the time for a moment, Mr. Sahakyan? Thanks. So I wouldn't mind getting input in terms of, is this...
So my understanding, again, is that we are the arbiters of policy. That is our decision. And so our employees are operating based off of our direction and the direction up here at the dais. So it is appropriate to criticize the policy. It is appropriate to question that. It is not appropriate to personally attack and denigrate a specific employee. I do not believe that that is covered under the public comment.
I'm not personally attacking anybody.
Yes, you are, sir.
No, ma'am, I am not. I'm not personally attacking her. I disagree with what she said in her role as assistant
So then you
superintendent.
disagree with the policy, so please continue with the disagreement of the policy.
I am disagreeing with her, and this is not, you are debating me right now. You said you would not debate me. Why are you debating me?
So you're using that particular thing inappropriately, the fact that we don't debate. So
I am not
please,
attacking her personally. This is under her official role as assistant superintendent at Glendale Unified. You are not allowing me to speak freely in a government entity about a government employee. I pay her taxes. I have every right to speak about her in particular within her role. I'm not talking about where she lives, what she looks like, anything like that. Nothing personal. This is purely professional, and this is purely governmental.
The inclusive officials instantly try shutting him up, proving how allergic they are to actual dialogue.
Can I continue?
try to keep it professional.
I've already told you what I'm doing, and I'm making that very clear, and I'm not going to change.
Keep it professional.
I have not. I have only kept this professional. You are debating me, and you are violating your own rules.
So, Mr. Sahakyan, go ahead and open the time again.
Thank you so much. Dr. Kelly King has worked with Gender Spectrum, an organization which you guys have actually paid money to in several schools. If that's not a conflict of interest, I don't know what is. She's worked with Gender Spectrum to produce gender support plans. In these gender support plans, she ranks parents whether on how affirming they are on a scale of 0 to 10. Who determines that? Based on what criteria? I'd love to know that policy. She says, if the parent's not affirming, the parent may not be involved in this document. That's the gender support plan. This may be a private conversation. So let's talk personal now, because she is. This may be a private conversation between that trusted adult at the school. Is that adult trusted by the parent? Who is the trusted adult? Define trust, please. This may be a private conversation between that trusted adult at the school and the student about how we keep you safe at home, emotionally and physically. Who's personal? Who's professional? Personally, I'm being professional. What she has done and the policies none of you have spoken out against is a complete deviation from that sacred boundary between government and personal lives and privacy, especially of minors. And we're talking about, and you're not going to divulge that to parents intentionally? And again, she makes over $250,000 a year. While 43%, only 43% of Glendale Unified high schoolers are proficient in math upon graduation. Only 65% are proficient in reading. And you pay that much money to institute those policies while you're failing, literally failing, to produce the adequate students for the 21st century. Thank you so much.
He sums up the woke priorities: high salaries, low test scores, and full throttle social engineering. The boards only move, deflect, interrupt, and clutch their progressive talking points. Bill Maher and Piers Morgan team up and absolutely barbecue Katie Porter for calling Riley Gaines a clout chaser.
What I disagree with strongly should be
what do you disagree with, out of interest?
I think that it should be up to sporting bodies to make the decisions about who
but
and
what
how
has she
should
said
compete.
that's actually wrong?
I think that what she has done is try to turn this. We talked about people, using things to kind of get likes and get clicks.
That's not what she's doing.
It's not?
I've got no truck to ride against personally, but all I've seen her do is stand up for women's rights to fairness and equality.
Well, she
actually competed against Leah Thomas, and it was obviously unfair. Leah Thomas won one of the races in the NCAA championships by 50 seconds against a bunch of biological females who simply couldn't keep up. That cannot be right. It cannot be fair.
That is something that I think our sporting bodies should be dealing with. And by the way, Riley is speaking up for herself, and that is her prerogative, and I respect her free speech.
I think she's speaking up for pretty much every female athlete in the world.
I mean, wasn't that the point of Title IX? Title IX in the early 70s was something that was it was a major event in feminism, that we finally have this law that says at colleges, right, and I think high schools too, but definitely colleges, women's sports have to be given equal to men's sports, so that women aren't and this led to the WNBA and lots of other stuff. This seems to be the opposite of that. It seems to be so many instances, I think, where wokeness is the opposite of what I grew up as liberalism. Liberalism was, let's give the women an equal shot. And meanwhile, let's put a male in the swimming pool with the women. I don't get it.
It's crazy. And meanwhile, trans people who genuinely want to compete at athletics and swimming or whatever it may be, they're the ones who are suffering here. They need to be found a way to compete fairly and justly.
Well, what's your answer then?
I think there's one or two answers. I think they either compete against their biological sex, as many of them did before, or you create an entirely new category for transgender athletes. And then they're able to compete fairly. But what you cannot do is continue to allow more and more trans athletes to start decimating women's records. In some cases...
Imagine accusing a woman who literally competed against a male body of clout chasing. That's how unserious this entire ideology has become. The moment someone points out reality, they call it hate. They're not defending women, they're defending a fantasy at women's expense. Next up, the woke brigade trying to brand secrecy as compassion while parents are kept in the dark.
We are grooming our children to be tools for maps for minor attracted persons.
What are some of the most heinous things that you've seen going on in the schools today that you've been dealing with the school boards?
Through these new transgender policies, they are creating environments where they keep secrets from the parents. A child can socially transition at school. They can leave home knowing that they're Megan, get to school and their new name is Michael. And the teachers will affirm them to be a boy, but never tell their parents. And they don't have to by law. They are creating environments and atmospheres that will lead to pedophilia. Pedophilia stems from secrecy. And some person being able to touch you, fondle you, misuse you, and abuse you, and you think that you can't tell what happened because that person might harm you, or they may lie and say that no, it's not true, and then shame you. All of these things are forged when there's an environment of secrecy. Many of these people are Marxist atheists. They are perverts. They are grooming our children to be tools for maps for minor attracted persons. These people are vicious and they must be called out.
They call it affirmation, but it looks a lot more like indoctrination with a smile. The father isn't fooled, and neither is anyone tired of watching schools act like therapy clinics. The moment truth shows up, their buzzwords pack up and leave. Here we go again, another school board meeting where progress means making kids pretend they're gay for a grade.
All right, well, thank you guys for having me. I am here to talk about an assignment that was showed into my daughter's classroom. I'm going to read the assignment. I do have a picture, but that's, neither here nor there. It says, stand in a circle. Each of you is now gay or lesbian, and you're about to begin your coming out process. You cannot talk for the rest of this activity. I don't see how this is part of the California curriculum for education. There's nothing that it does other than groom children. It's not okay, it's disgusting, and it should not be allowed. I was told by the vice principal of Rancho the first time I called that it was not part of the curriculum. I then emailed Dr. Villarreal. He emailed me back saying, oh no, this is definitely part of the curriculum, this specific activity. Then he had one of his other vice principals call me to confirm that it was really part of this curriculum. I have tried to get into contact with Dr. Villarreal over the phone about 8 times, and just failed every single time. He has not reached out to me himself personally, other than the first email contact that we had. I've reached out to Dr. Matt Doyle. I do understand that we will be having a meeting between January 6th and the 13th, I believe. So there is that. I don't think that this assignment should ever be taught to any children. It does not do anything other than groom them. Should not be allowed. Anybody who teaches this should be fired immediately. That's all I have to say about it.
Okay, thank you. Just so that you know, if you've not spoken before, we can't respond from the dais.
I understand.
Okay, thank you.
The father isn't angry. He's just the only adult left in the room, brave enough to say, maybe this isn't math. The man reads their own lesson out loud, and suddenly, tolerance turns into stage fright. The same educators who preach be your authentic self can't handle hearing their own assignment in public. In this one, a trans activist screams, "Why won't you love us?" at a stranger.
Look at what Jesus said. Love your neighbor as yourself. Why do you not love trans and queer people as their authentic selves?
Okay.
So why don't you love us as our authentic self?
I don't know if you're looking for answers, so I can't hear one.
Take a couple steps back. You guys can talk about it, but just take a couple steps back and bring it down a couple notches.
I don't think I want to talk to you. I'm not looking for an answer.
I'm wondering that you had an answer. You don't have one because you don't believe in our true existence. And if you don't believe in the existence of people with pride, stay the hell away from them. Learn to be ignorant.
Keep walking.
Oh, look at the one who's angry, right?
Of course I'm angry because I can't get health care. I can't get housing. I can't get an interview, let alone a job.
So that's what
because
comes
you're
from.
literally making it illegal for me to exist.
You walk away.
What are we going to do?
This is the twisted irony. They scream "love us" while acting completely unlovable. Respect isn't something you can force out of someone by yelling at them in public. If your identity requires volume, threats, and police intervention to be validated, maybe the problem isn't the other person. Here, a female host asks the most basic question on earth, and the activist responds with, "Biology is misinformation."
Why should I, as a female, be forced to get changed in front of a male?
But nobody's making you do that.
Yes, you do. There's cases going through the courts at the moment. I can think of one such case in the NHS where some nurses are taking action because they were forced to share a gender-neutral changing room where there was what you call a trans woman, i.e. a biological male, using those facilities. So yeah, it actually does happen.
Trans men are men, trans women are women. Do you think that trans people exist?
I think that what you call a transgender woman absolutely exists. I don't think it's a figment of your imagination, but I think that they're categorically, biologically male. So therefore, they cannot and should not be able to access female-only spaces. Lots of women like me do not want to have to get dressed and all the rest of it in front of biological men.
The activist's entire argument was basically, it's not happening, and even if it is, you're not allowed to call it what it is. That's the new strategy. Deny the biology, deny the boundaries, and shame any woman who dares to say she's uncomfortable. Up next, another father walks into the lion's den of tolerance, armed with nothing but logic and the audacity to use it.
Is that how we're to act? We're gonna let boys in the bathrooms? I wanna ask all the fathers up here to claim to love their daughters. Would you be okay if someone up here started getting naked in front of your daughter? No, yes they are. If they go in the bathroom, they will get in front of your daughter. You are a liar.
Hey, folks.
Okay?
We're not doing this.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
We're not doing the back and forth.
These men, these boys, these biological boys, you're gonna allow them to go in and get naked in front of our kids? Are we that gone now? Where does this stop, guys? Where does this plateau? Next thing you know, we're going to be okaying pedophilia? We're already letting kids pretend to be furries. We are letting kids be furries. Silence. I request your silence.
Please.
I don't care. Offensive? You know what? It's funny. All your shirts all say humble, kind, love everyone, but you don't love me right now, do ya? That's right.
Sir.
That's
hey,
right.
Folks,
So,
hey.
Listen, there is no evidence. We are doing all this.
Sir, give me a second.
Okay.
You're here to address the board. You're not here to address the audience.
Right. Well, I kind of got called into it, so I apologize to you. So let me address you so I don't lose any more time.
And folks out there, please let him say his piece. You're entitled to the same.
The progressive panel, draped in slogans about kindness, suddenly looks offended by reality itself. They chant about love while glaring at the one person actually defending his child.
This is not a back and forth debate.
We're doing a lot of this, right? Because we don't want teen suicides. We want to prevent teen suicides. We're trying to accommodate these children. I wanted to be a dinosaur, man. Listen, let these kids get 18. Let them grow up. And at 18, let them decide what they want to be. More power to you. But don't twist and manipulate their mind when they are impressionable. Leave our kids alone. Please. Leave them alone. There is no study, not one that's ever been done, that WPATH, World Professional Association of Transgender Health, set out to do a study about suicide. And did you know they could find no conclusive evidence that letting your child transition will save their life? Not one study. We are going down a path of irreversible evil and harm. We are accepting evil in 2025. This is sick. All these men getting up here speaking today, they don't have the courage to look at their kids and say, hey, I love you and I'm going to support you, but you're a boy or you're a girl. You were born in God's image. That's what men should do. That's what real men do. That's what real men of courage do.
Each sentence from him hits harder than their buzzwords, peeling away the layers of virtue signaling until only hypocrisy remains. And as the applause breaks through the noise, you can almost hear the ideology crack. Now check this out, a fired up dad answering Elon Musk's tweet about parents fighting back.
I just got off the phone with my wife, who took my 9 and 7-year-old boys to the doctor today. My 9-year-old son went in first, and the first thing this woman asks him is if he identifies as a boy, a girl, gender fluid, or non-binary. He's never heard of any of that before. And props to my wife because she said something. And if she didn't, they would have asked my 7-year-old son the same question.
Did you hear that? The key words were that his wife said something. Not enough of you parents are pushing back on the clear agenda to indoctrinate your children, and that's why these medical professionals have the comfortability to push their unscientific beliefs onto your sons and daughters. I did some more digging on this strong father, and he homeschools his sons, which is exactly what I believe every parent should be doing at this point. I get it, it takes sacrifice to pull your kids out of school, but at PragerU Kids, we have the educational resources to help you. So head to our website and subscribe today.
This father isn't just venting, he's calling out the woke madness that's turned pediatricians into pronoun police. The man brought his sons for a checkup, not a gender seminar. Up next is Cora Novi taking the mic to demand everyone bow to the new pronoun rulebook.
As a transgender woman, my pronouns are she, her, and I will only accept those pronouns. I will not be addressed any other way. And in the workspace, I'm protected by that. Our students should be too.
My daughter goes to Franklin. She brought home books about how it's okay that two parents are gay in a household, and it's okay for boys to be girls and girls to be boys. What kind of delusion are you guys living in? Are people really we're still having these talks? Like, what is going on here? Like,
we don't use that word.
No, it's a word. I can use that if I want. Yes, I can. And yeah, I can't believe people are so open-minded. Their brains have literally fell out. Does nobody know why we had opposite sport teams and opposite bathrooms for boys and girls? To protect both from one another?
While the woke demanded everyone use her approved vocabulary, this father gave the room a quick dose of reality. He called out the nonsense of pretending biology is a debate and the woke people couldn't handle it. Nothing frightens modern activists like a parent who won't play pretend. Now we've got a father who's had enough of the woke echo chamber.
Anyone with children that doesn't want their kids to learn interesting new words, get the f*** out. First, a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk, who was killed by leftist guerrilla terrorists in Utah. And then secondly, any of you transgender people, don't shoot. No one would care if I got shot anyway, so you're just wasting a bullet. Save your 17 cents. Anyhow, my name is actually Ray Gallagher. I identify as Ray Gallagher. It's mostly because my friends think that I'm a stupid, overbearing. But anyhow, last time I came here to speak, I wasn't allowed to speak because some other stupid, overbearing shares the exact same name of Ray Gallagher with me.
Yeah.
I said don't like cuss words. It's free speech. I'm going to continue with my speech, lady.
Can you stop the clock? Stop the clock.
Ahead, lady. Go ahead.
No, you're
not. Go ahead.
All right.
Call me what you want.
Mr. Porter and ma'am, it is his time.
I am demanding you control this woman.
It is his time. Please sit.
Free speech, lady. Go back.
All right. Mr. Porter. Mr. Porter.
You got a sign that says stop bullying, and then you're bullying a speaker.
Mr. Porter. Mr. Porter.
There's nothing that can make me look worse, lady. I pull my pants down in public. Did you see her storm out and slam the door?
Mr. Porter, your time has been paused. I'm going to respectfully ask you,
to what?
as we have children in the. I'm just asking.
I told them they could leave.
Okay. Your time to restart. This has been my ask of you that I'm.
You can ask whatever you want.
You
and
are
I'm going to
correct.
deny your request. Like you denied me the ability to speak at the last meeting because we have the exact same name.
You can restart his time. Your time is going. It is yours.
So I signed up. There's proof that I signed up, and you didn't allow me to speak. You denied me my right to my First Amendment, right to redress of grievances, my right to petition the government for redress of grievances, my right to say exactly what was on my mind because you didn't like the way that I signed up. But I did sign up. It's on video. It's witnessed. And then you denied me because you didn't like my viewpoint, because my viewpoint is opposite of what your viewpoint is, which is hippy-dippy is okay. So you denied me my right to speak last time, so this time I'm pissed off. So you're getting the pissed off version of my speech. You would have got a much better speech if you just let me speak last time, but instead you wanted to take the federal court and try and say that you have the right, as the president of this governing body, to actually deny people their access to this podium to speak and deny them their equal rights to free speech under the 14th Amendment and the First Amendment. So long story short, I don't like you. I don't like any of your people. You guys are in an echo chamber. You bring in these left-wing nut jobs.
Interruptions hit, but the father points out the irony of signs preaching stop bullying while trying to silence him. He escalates with a calm roasting of the echo chamber, hinting that silencing opposing views is the favorite hobby of some activists. Woke fragility is on full display, and he's just getting started. This time, we've got the speech police pretending to protect order while silencing anyone with a spine.
My constitutional rights. Go ahead.
Mr. Hubbard, would you please say something specific about the book so that we can let you continue speaking rather than making these generalities?
Can I get there?
Fast, really fast.
No, there's no fast.
I'm saying fast. Excuse me?
You don't tell me how to speak.
Well, yeah, I am telling you. I'm telling you how to speak in this situation. Yeah.
And give me my
Point
5
of order.
minutes.
I'd like to propose a recess.
Sit down, please.
I'd like to propose
My
a
5
recess.
No, don't interrupt me. This is my constitution.
Doctor.
They claim to value every voice, but only if it reads from their script. The moment a parent talks about rights, they start twitching, like someone mentioned common sense. Nothing scares the woke gatekeepers more than a calm man who refuses to ask permission to speak. Here's where the trust the system crowd suddenly forgets what accountability means.
In a vote to allow trans students to use whatever bathroom they wish, you assured us that these policies were perfectly safe, as neither yourself nor law enforcement could provide a single example of any trans student assaulting any girl in any bathroom, in any school, in any state, anywhere at all. But not to worry, since you couldn't locate them, I took the trouble to. See, Loudoun County, Virginia, where last year, under district policy, a trans student was allowed into the women's bathroom where he assaulted a girl. To cover it up, they moved him to another school where he did it again. See Irvine, California last month, where a trans student entered the women's locker room and flashed the girls there. When they confronted him, he mercilessly beat them. This happened again in Gwinnett County, Georgia. This happened again in Oklahoma City. This happened again in Ohio. It should also be noted that in each of these cases, each of these perpetrators had either changed their pronouns, had undergone transition, or had received gender-affirming therapy.
The father calmly lays out proof, and the woke defenders of safe spaces start sweating like logic is a hate crime. They called it progress until facts showed up wearing work boots. Every word from him was a reminder that feelings don't change biology, and denial doesn't count as data. And this one perfectly sums up what happens when ideology starts parenting your kids for you.
The state of California says that I have to pay for the chemical and physical castration of my son as child support. Started when my son was about 2 years old. My ex-wife, who's a pediatrician, started thinking that he might be a girl. and started trying to transition him to a girl. When I tried to put a stop to that, she filed for divorce and used her relationships with care providers to force me out of my house. She would put him into timeout and say, "Don't be a boy. The monsters only eat boys." Weird things like this. James never presented as a girl with anyone but his mom. At church, with me, with his friends, he dressed as a boy and called himself James. I asked him one time, "Why are you doing that?" He just flat out told me, he said, "Well, mommy doesn't love me if I'm not a girl."
The woke crowd calls it gender affirmation, but it's really just adults playing politics with a child's identity. The father speaks truth, and suddenly compassion looks a lot like control. They say it's love, but it sounds more like loyalty to a movement. Next up, Trans Day of Vengeance, because nothing says we're the victims like filming yourself threatening retaliation.
They have been promoting this narrative that we've been indoctrinating others. We don't deserve to be murdered. We don't deserve to be put in a position where we're unaliving ourselves. We deserve to live our lives happily and in peace. Please join us for Trans Day of Vengeance. Much love to you all. Please stay safe.
I'm not condoning the violence, but I understand it. And it's hard for me to have sympathy for what happened, because at the end of the day, you reap what you sow. People like you, this is your fault. All of it.
To stick together more than ever now. We don't need thoughts and prayers. We need action. Revolution. We're here. We're queer. We're not going anywhere. Deal with it.
It's amazing how fast Be Kind turns into We Want Vengeance when the mask slips. This is what happens when you build your entire worldview on victimhood. Eventually, the only solution becomes punishment. And that's not equality. That's fanaticism dressed in rainbow branding. A dramatic trans woman attacks two biological women, then roleplays the victim because in 2025, victimhood is a competitive sport.
Spitting.
I spat on the ground because you hit me with your body.
I called 911. Okay.
Don't you dare.
Thank you.
Don't you dare, you white woman.
Okay, I'm Puerto Rican.
She hit me.
Okay.
She assaulted me, and she's recording me.
And what you're doing right now makes that okay.
Mind your business.
I appreciate you.
Okay.
No, you don't.
Of course.
No, you don't. You're a fake ally. You're a fake liberal. You're a hypocrite. And I feel sorry for your trans friends. I feel sorry for your trans friends. And I feel sorry for your queer friends because you're a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what you are. You're a snake.
Do you know my identification?
Snakes.
Do you know my current identification?
I don't give up.
So how do you know any of this information
You're a
about
cis
me?
woman. You're an AFAB non-binary.
Do you know that?
Bitch.
Do you know that?
You're an AFAB non-binary.
Do you know that?
Do you live in Bushwick?
Do you know that?
Do you live in Bushwick, Kenny? Go ahead. This is gonna blow up on TikTok. I already have a social media following. You think I care? They love this. I'm a based psycho tranny, and you're a hypocrite. You're a liberal hypocrite.
The choice of words used in psycho
You hit me on the
identification.
You hit me with your body on the sidewalk. You liberal
the word choice
hypocrite.
Of identifying as a psycho.
You assaulted me. So where are the cops, huh? Where are the cops when the black woman calls the cops on the trans woman?
This is the new formula. Attack like a bully, then collapse into victim mode the moment someone pushes back. It's emotional manipulation disguised as identity. They weaponize fragility. They use pain as a shield for bad behavior. It's narcissism with a social justice coat of paint. Next, a MAGA dude walks into Trans Visibility Day. They applauded him right up until they realized he wasn't on their payroll.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here in Dallas, Texas, celebrating Trans Day of Visibility. Let's have a good time. Yes! What is going on?
Oh, children, she gets transgender reassignment surgery!
Yourself!
Ban transgenderism and stay effective!
Look at this! You want to fight? You want to fight? Yeah, I'm so scared. Look at these transgenders! Oh, what are you gonna do? Get the hey, they're just hitting us.
No! Telling you to leave!
Let go! These are a bunch of transgenders. They want to cut out children's penises. These are sick losers. Your parents are ashamed of you. Yeah, your parents are ashamed of you. You guys are all losers.
This shows how tolerance works in 2025. They love you as long as you agree with them. The moment you show even a molecule of dissent, they flip instantly from love is love to get out. Their acceptance isn't a principle, it's a conditional membership contract. In this clip, trans activists surround a mom and her kid, and the White House actually condemned it.
Trans activists surrounded a mother and her child on their way to a Christian event. The woman, alongside her partner and 2 other kids, tried to move through the crowd as tensions exploded. Police stepped in to shield the family as the crowd closed in. Despite police presence, scuffles broke out and streets were shut down for hours. The White House Faith Office issued a rare rebuke pointing that free speech and religious freedom is protected by federal law. Full protest turned flashpoint with families and faith in the crossfire.
When your movement has to physically surround a mother and child to feel powerful, you've already lost the moral argument. You don't protect community by terrorizing families in public. This isn't activism. This is ideological bullying with rainbow branding slapped on top. Coming up, we've got a father finally confronting the CRT chaos.
We talk about critical race theory, which is pretty much going to be teaching kids how to hate each other, how to dislike each other. That's pretty much, I don't care what you say, it's pretty much what it's going to all come down to. You're going to deliberately teach kids, this white kid right here got it better than you because he white? You're going to purposely tell a white kid, oh, the black people are all down and suppressed. How do I have 2 medical degrees if I'm sitting here oppressed? How did I get, first of all, time up, because I only got 5 minutes now, 5 minutes. 2 medical degrees, no mom, no dad in the house, worked my way through college, sat there and hustled my butt off to get through college. You gonna tell me somebody that looked like all y'all white folks kept me from doing that? What y'all doing right now is already something I do in my community right now to speak out against stuff, because black folks are getting told by other black folks, oh, you know you ain't gonna be able to do nothing out there in the world because them white folks ain't gonna let you get no, oh, you know you're not gonna be able to do it here because you know the white man gonna keep you down. Well, how did I get where I am right now if some white man kept me down? How am I now directing over folks that look just like you guys in this room right now? How? What kept me down? What oppressed me? I work for myself from off the streets to where I am right now. You gonna sit here and tell me this lie of critical race theory? This the reason why black folks can't get ahead because of white folks? Are you kidding me? This is what we come to now. I can't believe we're even talking about this right now. The last thing I'm gonna say right here is something that's crazy.
He leans into the absurdity, highlighting that personal effort, not diversity quotas, drives real success. The room is twitching, probably checking their equity handbook for an emergency override.
Martin Luther King said he wanted his kids to grow up in a world where they are judged by the contents of their what? Their character, not their skin. If they letting this stuff go on right now, it is absolutely doing the complete reverse of what he's doing. So when February comes, don't talk about Martin Luther King. When February comes, don't talk about Black History Month. If y'all gonna sit there and just pretty much pee on this grave with this nonsense, the person that's gonna be suffering from this, the one's gonna be hurt from this, is the kids. 10 years from now, if this stuff goes on, whose fault is it gonna be? Whose fault is it gonna be? Who we gonna look back on and blame for this? Because this is stuff we talking about right now. This stuff is going on right now. I do this stuff on a daily basis. I'm in the hood. I'm in the communities. I'm out there with folks in their face. I've been doing this stuff since I was 18 years old, talking to black folks. And you know what? None of them are buying this nonsense. None of them are. But if you want to implement this into the school system, I guarantee you to the day that I die, I'm going to be the very person right there debunking stuff, tearing stuff down, letting them know they can do exactly what I did and get exactly where I am by putting themselves to work and getting there. And ain't not one white person ever don't keep any of them from getting there. So the CRT stuff.
He wraps it up with a simple reality check. No curriculum can substitute for determination. The CRT cheerleaders sit frozen, trying to figure out which buzzword they forgot to sprinkle in. Up next, a professional virtue signaler takes the mic and mistakes sarcasm for moral depth.
And we have one speaker, Mr. Walter Masterson. Mr. Masterson.
A more, woke school board would see the death of a child and work to make sure it never happens again. Not this board. This board sees a dead kid and says, that's a good start because this school board signed up to protect all children. And by all children, they mean these children, not so much these children. Hate us if you want, but we're the good guys. We want to let kids be kids, and there's nothing more unnatural than a teenager experimenting with their identity. It has never happened before and should be punished. We're the good guys. We'll spit on a kid's grave, blame the parents, and tell our teenagers to hit them harder. We're the good guys. When we heard that a trans child had been beaten to death, our state senator, Tom Woods, immediately released a statement. We don't want that filth in Oklahoma. We can call children filth, even the dead ones, because we're the good guys. And if we're wrong, if God doesn't want us driving off the lepers and deviants and worshiping the bankers, if our God doesn't want us casting the first stone, if our God doesn't want us loving people despite their differences, well, if we're wrong, then I guess I'll see you all in hell.
He delivers his speech, dripping with that classic woke arrogance, the kind that confuses mockery with meaning. Every line is another performance, another audition for online applause, as if hashtags could replace actual empathy. And finally, here's what happens when college activism eats basic decency for breakfast.
Who's he mocking? He can't say his name. He's not good enough. I want y'all to say his name. This is a college kid. Well, he was a college kid mocking the death of an innocent man, a father, a husband, a believer in God. We're supposed to tolerate these insufferable people. We're supposed to love our enemy. I'm sorry, I can't do that right now. And this isn't about color. This is about good and evil. And I'll say it. I believe there are far more evil people on the left. I don't care anymore.
The woke crowd cheers on expression until someone actually expresses morals. Then it's chaos. A father calls out the nonsense, and suddenly truth becomes hate speech. Because in woke land, feelings are facts and accountability is oppression. And there you have it, another round of fathers reminding the woke world that biology isn't bigotry and truth doesn't need permission slips. While activists rehearse their next apology video, these dads are out there raising the next generation of thinkers, not followers. Subscribe and stay tuned because the pushback's just getting started.